All righty, righty. We are live. Live, live, live. So we'll wait for those to come in, for the fans to come in who's getting ready for some region games. We have some guests that will be coming in as we lead up a special early time, 5:19. Normally it's 5:30. But it is 5:19. We're going to bring it to you. I'm Matt Stats with Coach Football. We are live at Region Play. Starts tonight for everyone. You can share it, the stream, post your comments, ask your questions. We're going to try to bring it to 6:30. Try to bring it to 6:30 tonight, so we get a little bit to get to. We'll try to go to a couple games as far as live on the field to see what's happening at certain games. Thanks to Bingo Media for putting this on. Let me see what guests we have in there right now. Oh. I'm bringing. All right, there's Jeff there. Jeff Lawson from PRC already at the game. How you doing, Jeff?
Good. How are you, Matt?
Very good, very good. Of course, you call for PRC and PRC on the road tonight in what we have called, or I've called, a playoff game because on occasions, with the five teams in the region, they win this game, they're in the playoffs. So, how you feeling about tonight's game? How was the trip up there?
I feel good. Trip, about 2.5 hours north. Got to see the team a little bit yesterday. So, PRC had the fall break last week. So they actually had a bye week last week, but then a fall break this week. So they had nothing to do really but concentrate and get focused on this game. And I think they're ready to play. Forest Hill's always, it's been a tough opponent, but yeah, I think this is a winnable game here for the Blue Devils.
Yes, they Forest Hill Patriots. Of course, they're up in out of Jackson, or at South Jackson Field is what they're calling. They played last week. Forest Hill Patriots. They're 1-3 on the season. 1-4, excuse me, on the season. They lost last week 36-20, and as you mentioned, PRC and Coach Feaster in his first year there won 2 weeks ago. PRC did at Bay 56-35. And listening to the podcast I've listened to so many from, it might have been 228. I think it was 228 Sports. They interviewed Coach Feaster, and he said about getting some players back. Can you confirm? Wasn't it on defense? Are you guys getting some players back there for the Blue Devils?
Yeah, getting some of them back. Some of them was banged up a little bit, and I tell you what, you come off the big win against Bay High. The first one, I think, to snap a 17-game losing streak. So you get that win, and then you had a bye week, so it couldn't have come at a better time before district for the Blue Devils. Get some people back. Very, very young on defense. Are the Blue Devils, but hey, get some people that's kind of banged up, and really you had 2 weeks to just get ready to prep with that bye week and no school, like I mentioned, no school last week. So you just really getting some people back and getting focused on Forest Hill.
Yes. As in, I did my write up. When I looked at Patriots, who of course is Forest Hill Patriots, have won all 3 games. So just 3 games played between the two teams, but the other 2 games were played in 2009, 2010. So that's a little while back. And last year, where Forest Hill did win 30-27. Again, we mentioned about stopping the 17-game losing streak for PRC. Forest Hill, I mentioned they lost last week at Callaway with 5 teams in the region. Again, the other 3 teams, West Jones is at 5-1, Terry's at 5-1, and Hattiesburg's on top at 6-0. So, Forest Hill 1-4, and now PRC at 1-4. So that's why we're in agreement that PRC gets this win, then they're going to have the tiebreaker against against Forest Hill, and that they would make the playoffs. So the opponents' records for PRC, they've had a little bit better strength of schedule, 19-11 combined record, where Forest Hill has 17-10. And I do have this game very close at a 35-32 score in favor of PRC on the road. And I know we mentioned earlier in the text. I mean, yeah, we kind of wish it was at PRC, but
Yeah.
they won on the road. Their first win 2 weeks ago. So again, Coach Feaster having 2 weeks there, and you were with the team. You said, I mean, so they're how is the team's attitude? There, I'm sure they're excited, ready to get back on the field, especially after winning.
Yeah, they are. You had that, like I said, you had that win, and you want to carry the momentum into district play. But I really think that the so-called off week, will help the Blue Devils. They're ready to get in it, ready to get this game started, and they know. I mean, they win this one, and as you mentioned, they're in the playoffs. I think first time since 2014, 2015 in the playoffs. So yeah, you want to get this win under your belt, but what you do is you win this one tonight, and then Hattiesburg is on a bye week this week. I think West Jones plays Terry, so that'll be an interesting game. West Jones kind of banged up a little bit on their end of the spectrum, so it's very doable tonight for PRC, and I think the Blue Devils are ready. I think they're going to come out with an intensity, especially on offense. They're going to go as their quarterback Corday Russell goes. At that Bay High game you mentioned, 8 touchdowns, 4 rushing, 4 passing. So as the junior quarterback Corday goes, so does the Blue Devils on offense.
Yes, most definitely. They did make it. The last time was 2015 when they made it actually to the second round of the playoffs. That is PRC. They were 11-2. They beat Picayune that year, 41-14. So I mean, a lot of fans, of course, nowadays, the last few years, are thinking, "What? PRC beat Picayune?" Because right now you wouldn't imagine that. But hey, PRC teams have their ebb and flows, and PRC, I mean, they did. They won the region. They were 7-0. They had Pascagoula, Picayune, Hattiesburg, Gaucher, Stone, Long Beach, and West Harrison in that region back in 5A. So to look back at that, so PRC is on the cusp there of getting a playoff win here if they can win tonight. And the first game of region play, again, with 5 teams in there, 4 of them will make the playoffs. And true, they would have to go on the road. And, but just the confidence just to make the playoffs. Coach Feaster in his first year there stops the losing streak and just, is building something nice there. And you're there to firsthand to see it. So that's nice there. And I appreciate you joining us, Jeff. I know you're going to be getting – what time are you going to be going on? Is it 6:30 in the app?
Yeah, we go on at 6:30 with our pregame show on the free Talking Ball Y'all app. Encourage everybody to download it. Hey, you can bounce around, especially Poplarville. Poplarville plays, I think, Pass Christian tonight. Jason Baker, Rossi Creel, Zach Barrett does a great job with Poplarville crew for the Talking Ball Y'all media. And then, of course, a big matchup. Pascagoula is at Picayune to open their district. So Clay Sweet and Ricky Whitaker will be on the call right there in Picayune. So, yeah, we've got all 3 schools in Pearl River County covered.
Yes, that's a great app. I have it downloaded. Like I said, I just listened to the podcast they did the other day. So Clay and them. He's supposed to join us, if not mistaken, here within this hour. So, again, appreciate it the popping in on us. And the conditions, I'm assuming, are great up there. I mean, obviously no rain, and the temperature may dip a little bit, but I haven't been up there to call a game. Of all the years I've been calling games or high school, I haven't been up there to Forest Hill. So I guess it's a nice place to be.
Yep, nice place to be. Turf field, kind of a small, quaint, so to speak, field with the stands, but it's kind of down in a bowl, turf field. Yeah, the temperatures is probably going to get in the mid 60s about kickoff. Right now, it's kind of warm because, of course, the sun's out. But, yeah, it's going to be a beautiful night, not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, well, I certainly, again, appreciate it. And just look ahead. I know they play tonight at Forest Hill. Then they'll have back at home next week against Terry. Well, again, it's 5-1 and, of course, non-region games. But good luck to the Blue Devils, and I'll be keeping track of them and tuning in to listening to see what's happening there. Hopefully they can get the win as I predicted them to do. So that's going to be a close game, be an exciting one for you there, Jeff. So I certainly appreciate you joining us here on the pregame show.
All right, thank you, Matt. Thanks for what you do for Coach Football.
Yes, definitely. All right, and that's Jeff Lawsett there with PRC up there as they are at Forest Hill. We're going to bring in our next guest, somewhat regular person here, and that's going to be Jason Phillips there with Van Cleve as they host Gaucher, and that's turning out to be a
A big-
semi. I mean, it's a big game. I mean,
It is. Big game at the Big 5-7.
It is at home there, and trying to stop that 11-game losing streak that Gaucher has beaten Van Cleve. 19-4 in the series. The last they won last season 24-14, but the Bulldogs playing pretty good ball after a 2-0, 0-2 start. They have won 3 straight games, including George County. Gaucher's 1-1. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're 1-1 on the road this season with a 3-game winning streak, and Van Cleve is still looking for the first region title. Of course, can't win the region title tonight, but you could dig yourself a hole if you don't win tonight, because again, tiebreakers, go to the team that wins head up. Gaucher won last week 42-41 barely. We thought it'd be a little bit more of a breather there for against Columbia, that is Gaucher. And Van Cleve, of course, was off last week. Van Cleve, as I write up, I think Van Cleve have a shot if they can keep it a low-scoring game. The points per game is 33 for Gaucher's averaging on all points. The Bulldogs averaging 18 points per game. So that's why I said if the Bulldogs can keep close and have a low-scoring game under the 30s, Van Cleve has a shot there at exit 57. That's why it's called the Big 5-7. So how's it looking there as far as Van Cleve and how you like your chances there, Jason?
I think if senior Hunter Harper has a big night tonight, he's a big guy, runs between the tackles really good, downhill. He's not, when he breaks out in the open field, breaking away from everybody, but he's smart with the ball. He was fullback all the way up until his senior year, and he had some running back as far as throughout the years, but he's been hitting those holes in those different spots for years, and now it's his time to carry the ball. So I think a big dose of him, and then mixing some Kyle Capers in there. But the big thing's been the receivers. And last week, Wyatt Adams came. He'd been hurt from the Gulfport game, and he came in the Hancock game and just had a heck of a game. I think he threw for like 177, 2 touchdowns, and had a rushing touchdown. So that was big for us to spread the ball out and start to throw. And I think we still had well over close to 200 rushing yards. So I like it. Our defense is solid. Tackling, I think, is going to be the big thing against Gaucher with all the speed. Just making sure that they can tackle and they do their job. But Trey Irvin gets that ball, man. He is a special player.
And of course, everybody missing their running back. I'm assuming he's not going to make it. Come back tonight.
I haven't seen yet if he's Solomon Baggett's has got his jersey on or not. I haven't. I'm up here in the press box with the blinds closed. So
yeah. Well, very good. Like I say, I know that's Bingo's team is Gaucher. I don't know if Bingo will join us. I know he's a busy man there, doing all that he does. So we will hopefully, and I'll be able to watch some of that game off the streaming. So I did was able to get on there, and I should be able to watch the Van Cleve as one of the games, as many games that I'll be watching here tonight. So, but while I'm keeping you on, we're gonna move here to run through last week's scores. If you can stay on, until we get
I've got a little bit of time.
Okay, because we got another guest that will be coming. We're looking to get Clay Sweet from Picayune and Jeremy Forehand from D'Iberville versus Ocean Springs. Of course, last night the one game played. In fact, we just got somebody on. I'll check and see who that is.
Oh, here it goes. He could. Here it goes.
I got tired of hearing Jason with all that yapping about all that Spygate stuff he got going on up there
Spygate
in the press box. Talking about I got the blinds closed.
He got the blinds closed.
About it, Solomon playing. Let me save you the news flash, buddy. He's not playing. So you can stop worrying, all right? You can stop worrying your little fancy pants, all right?
I want Solomon Baggett on the field. So a lot of people don't. Solomon's has been playing with Bingo and Christian. My son has played with Bingo way back when they were before middle school, and these boys have grown up together. And last 2 years, I've had to miss Solomon play against Van Cleve, and I've hated it. I really enjoy Solomon. He's a special player, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. So I really hate not having him out there. I talked to him the other night, and he's getting back. He's getting healthy. So he just take his time.
Yeah. And where are you headed to, Bingo?
George County playing Long
County.
Beach.
Yeah. So you're going to Long Beach. Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and I see, of course, Ansley Brandt, who, with WXXV, she tagged me in and saw Deuce there.
She's down here on the field.
Warming up, ready to be playing tonight. That is Deuce night with George County. But so for right now, I do have them winning that game. So you have a score prediction, as we got another guest that we're going to be bringing in here, as I invited several guests. So we already had Jeff Lossett from PRC, who PRC stopped that 17-game losing streak, and they can make it to the playoffs with a win tonight at Forest, since it's a 5-division team. So let me see who we're going to bring in. Let me see who are...
Gators by 40.
There you go, by 40. I did adjust my score and have Gaucher winning a little bit more than what I thought they would. But, we shall see as they play it on the field. But I do have Gaucher winning. Oh, I didn't even write down my change of my score. I'm going to have to write down the change of I had it 30-23, but I adjusted it to 40-something. Because I just don't think that Van Cleve will be able to stop the passing attack.
It ain't even going to be passing, Matt. That's what I'm like. If you go back and look in recent weeks, what have we been winning on the ground with? The run.
Jason.
The run. Our quarterback has scored 3 rushing touchdowns in 3 previous games. Like we won't lose another game this year. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. We won't lose another game this year. It's Gators all the way to state.
That's what
Cal State is at the swamp.
That's what you're supposed to say. And I believe Gaucher has a great shot at going all the way. So I certainly, feel that they can. I've picked them to win the region. So 48-29, I changed it from 30-23. That's a big change, but I think Gaucher is going to win 48-29. But hey, if Van Cleve,
I hope both of y'all are wrong. I don't do score predictions. I can't even. I don't even tell you the last time I even tried to predict a score. I just think that if this is the year that 19-4. Gaucher against Van Cleve, 19-4. That's an impressive record. I didn't know that until the stats came out. So Gaucher's and Bingo. I don't know if you were on that when they were dominating back. I don't know what year. Forgot what year you graduated, but
I ain't never lost to Van Cleve ever in anything.
What'd you say? 2011 was the last win.
2000. They've lost 11 straight. So I'd have to look to make sure what exactly year. In fact, I can look it up, obviously, right here on that. Let me see. Bye-bye.
As long as I had that blue and gold on, I ain't never lost.
Yeah, the last time that they won was 2010 when they won at Gaucher 22-11. So, in fact, they won 2009, 2010, back-to-back years.
Streaks are made to be broken.
Yeah. So let me bring in our guests, who if it's going to be Jeremy or if it's going to be there's nobody. That was Bingo. So no, they're supposed to be coming on. So we will go over or whatever you guys want to talk about. My region predictions came out.
Have y'all already talked about the George County Long Beach game? Because I'm almost there. I'm about 9 minutes out.
No, we haven't talked because we had Lossett from PRC that came on first.
Is Deuce playing? That's all I want to know. Is Deuce going to play tonight?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah, he's playing.
Good.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to see the 4-star.
Yeah.
So like I say, Ansley Brandt tagged me in it and showed who's back, and had a picture of Deuce. So Deuce is playing there. As far as that game, I do have George County winning, and I still had them winning regardless if Deuce was going to play or not. So, Jeremy is just texting from D'Iberville. Jeremy, if you can hear me, I sent you the link. Just click on it, and we can bring you on at any time. George County leads the series 28-win. Long Beach's only win was in 1979. So I don't even think Bingo was born then. Yeah.
I
Hey, hold on. I wasn't even born yet either. Hold on a second. I ain't that
So,
old.
but
Matt was still in high school.
no, I wasn't in. I graduated in '87. So yeah, that's
Okay,
a long.
I was 4.
But third straight road win. I mean, third straight road game for George County. They're 2-1 so far on the
And they
season on
far
the
too,
road.
Matt. You got to think. 3 straight far road games. Wayne County, Hattiesburg, Long Beach. Them things far.
They
Now,
are.
don't forget Van Cleve in there. Don't forget Van Cleve in there. It's okay to
That
say
wasn't
Van
no
Cleve.
road game. What are you talking about, Jason?
It was
So
for us.
Long Beach, 35 straight
I wasn't
region
there.
games they've lost. Long Beach Bearcats have lost 35 straight region games. So they're looking for the region game. The last time they won, last one was at West Harrison. Was Long Beach. Let me see. Of course, Long Beach lost to South Jones last week. They were leading for a majority of that game, but South Jones beat them, and then George County lost at Hattiesburg, who remains undefeated still there. But I have George County winning 49-28. I think George County's defense gives up some points, so we shall
Ronnie
see how many
Brown,
points.
Junior
How many
Brown.
points? Yeah, Junior Brown. What I mean, he can run. So
He ain't
we'll
no
see how
slouch.
they.
We seen that last year. He put up points by last year on George County defense at home last year.
Oh, I don't even want to put up that Gaucher by 40. We going back to Van Cleve last one. Yeah.
That's what the score gonna be. Sorry,
Long
Mr.
Beach.
Phillips. Hate to place Victor of the spoiler.
So,
I don't.
but
I don't even
tonight,
have. I don't have. Not, I'm not one of them. I just don't get. I just hope it's a good game. That's all. That's all I want.
It's gonna be a good game for you to watch this air attack. We might throw it tonight. I don't know how Coach might feel tonight. He might just might ground pound you. Then again, he might just throw the ball. You never know. We can do so much. We're a balanced attack, like
Let's just see what the defense does.
oh, they're there. Fred Nicholson, Dunt High, Zay Poe, Braden Jackson. We're there. Denzel Larkin, we're there. Them boys, them Gators coming, baby.
so the other games tonight, all of them are region games. Some of them played last week. The 1, 2, and 3A schools played. We don't have a team in 2A. We have a team in 1A, Resurrection. They play tonight, hosting Enterprise Lincoln. West Marion at St. Patrick, they're in 3A. St. Stanislaus at Tylertown, they're 3A. Moss Point and Bay High, they're looking, whoever wins there should be in the playoffs in the 5-team division. East Central at Wayne County, PRC at Forest Hill, we mentioned that. That's a playoff game in effect. West Harrison at Hancock. West Harrison looking to get into the playoffs. That'll go a long way to win at Hancock there tonight. St. Martin at Harrison Central. Stone at Laurel. I wish that game was at Stone, but Laurel between the bricks. I lean toward Laurel, even though Stone easily could win. George County at Long Beach. Goshen at Van Cleve. 7A, Ocean Springs travels down the road to D'Iberville. Pascagoula is at Poplarville, and the number 1 and number 2 teams in the top 10 face each other as Pascagoula will travel to Picayune in that game. Do you have any thoughts on that game, Picayune, Pascagoula? Either of you?
Man, that's going to be a big. Whoever, in my thought, that whoever wins that game is possibly your district champion, pending George County game against George County.
Yeah, and that game is the last game of the year, George County and Pascagoula.
Right,
So that could be a setup there. But yes, that's a hard game. I had to decide on who I picked. Pascagoula to win. They're like Gulfport's offensive defense with Gulfport winning to Picayune. But man, I'm always hesitant, not scared, but hesitant to pick Picayune against Picayune, especially at home in Picayune. So
man, I watched both of them play this year. Picayune is always Picayune. They're battle tested. They're championship pedigree. They come from great coaching. Coach Stogner and his coaching staff do a great job with preparedness and readiness for his team. You got to play 4 quarters to beat Picayune. You cannot go in there thinking that they're going to lay down. You have to play every second of the game in order to get a win on Picayune. Like it's not easy to go into Picayune at Lee Triplett Stadium and win. It is
But haven't
hard.
they? But haven't they come behind on several of their wins this year already? Like down at half, and I mean they're like
Against
you said, you have to play every single minute of Picayune.
yeah, against
Yeah.
D'Iberville, they were trailing at halftime. And that one, they lead the series. The Tide does 37-21-2, winning the last two. The Panthers, just their second road game, they lost at Gaucher. They've lost the last two road games going back to last year. Picayune 2-2 at home. Under Coach Stogner, they have never lost 3 games at home in the season. So that's under Coach Stogner. They beat Petal last
This is
week.
good.
That is the what?
I said
Tide.
this is good football, man. This is the type of stuff I like talking about. This is good, man. And, Pascagoula gonna have that live stream there, so that game will be live tonight, thanks to Pascagoula's Harold and Beckham Entertainment, their quarterback club. You can be able to watch that game tonight.
Yeah, I plan on watching that and then tuning in. Clay Sweet should be coming on here. He has the talking ball. He'll be there calling the game.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, man.
He'll have the booth cam, by himself. Panthers have lost 11 straight games at Picayune. So last 11 games at Picayune. Last time they won was 1988. Was the Panthers. Again, both team Panthers, 34 points a game they're averaging, giving up 12 points on defense. The Maroon Tide on defense under Coach Stogner, the highest points. They usually their championship seasons about 10, 11 points per game given up on defense. This year, 28 points per game. Of course, they play some top-notch teams, and Brandon being one of them. So we shall see there what happens. As I mentioned earlier, is it too big of a game for Pascagoula? This is, like I say, a really step up, a 2-game swing. You win this. It wouldn't surprise me. I have the score 33. I had it 33-30, but then I changed it to 33-24 in favor of Pascagoula. So it's going to be a one-score game, even though that's a 9-point lead, point differential. It's going to come down if they can stop the run. If Pascagoula can stop the run, and Silas Quarter, senior quarterback, committed to USM, he's broken so many records. If he can get this win, it would really be a great win.
This would be a signature win for Silas, man. Like probably the biggest of his career if he go in Picayune and knock out Picayune. Like, yeah, people would have to tighten their lip up when they speak on his name
because he hasn't beaten them. So they won the last 2 years. If they haven't beaten, Silas has not beaten Picayune. They've won the last 2 years. He's a senior now, so he needs to. If he wins this game, that's again, like you said, it's pretty big. And I have them winning, but I'm it's a hard game. I had to lean with Pascagoula. That's all I've been saying. Even though I picked against them the last couple of games when they beat D'Iberville, beat Biloxi, it was at home. So we shall see. Let me. I'm gonna leave you on here for a second. I'm gonna have to text Jeremy, and I text him the code. So let me see what the deal is about inviting him, which I did invite him. Let me see. So you might have to talk, Jason.
I tell you this, the game we haven't really talked about. I know every week we've talked a lot about Ocean Springs, but they need this win. This is, they need to go into D'Iberville and really turn things around and get themselves going, because it's kind of funny watching Gulfport struggle against Biloxi at halftime, and offensively they struggle. To go up then, beat teams like they beat in non-district, and then go into and play Biloxi and can't even put up a score at halftime. That's just going to be. It can go anybody's way at this point, I feel. When you're playing your first region game against Biloxi and you win 21-7, that throws up some red flags to me, as far as we thought. At first you're like, hey, Gulfport's going to run away with this, but Ocean Springs can really kind of flip the memo tonight. They need to dominate. They need to go in there and win big.
Yeah, like I said, they lost a lot of players on defense, and then they had the 2 quarterbacks going during the non-region game. So I look for him maybe to go with the 1 quarterback, and then have Sherrard be out there, and he's an athlete. He could do a lot of good things. And I did send him. I thought I sent the link to Jeremy. I did send it to him. which that's probably him there if that's not Bingo. So yes, there's Jeremy there. We're gonna bring him on, and you can stay, Jason. There's Jeremy.
And
What's up?
I'm actually getting ready to get off here. I'm getting ready to head down to the field. So y'all have a great night. Jeremy,
Good luck to the Cleveland.
good luck tonight. Good luck
you.
tonight.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Jeremy, you there already set up, ready to do the live stream? It's going to be on your
Yeah,
Facebook page.
I'm wandering around on the field at the moment.
Okay, team's warming up, so they feeling good here. I mean, game one, you're tied for the region lead and ready to take on the Greyhounds, who haven't beaten in the last three games. So, I mean, how you feeling about tonight? How's the team looking?
I think we got a good shot. I think it's a matter of how our defense plays, to be quite honest. I think if defense plays the way they have played here in the majority of these games, I think we'll have a good shot here.
Yeah, the Warriors defense, like I say, they're averaging 16 points, a game. That's the best under Coach Ladner there. Last year they were giving up 36 points a game, which that's not going to hardly get it done there. And Osha Springs, now I was listening to your podcast, which a great podcast there with Shep, who you'll be across the field from him tonight as you were with him last week. But what player that could hurt you there with Osha Springs? What one player on Osha Springs that you're looking at stopping? Is it Gerard?
I mean, in my opinion, you want to keep the ball away from Bryson. So Bryson Smith, you definitely don't want to kick it to him. He's had 2 kick return touchdowns as well as a punt return touchdown that was called that negated from a penalty. But you want to keep the ball out of him on the return game. He will see it on the receiving side of the ball, but just keep it away from him. I think if we can control the line of scrimmage on both sides, I think we'll be okay. I think we got a really good shot. I like the amount of points and movement of the offense that we had last week with the change at Wally being at quarterback. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. It's kind of weird because you got the Fort Bayou Bridge out over there, so Ocean Springs basically had to go all the way to 57 and back around with an escort to get here. They showed up probably about, 10 minutes ago or so, 15 minutes ago. So just a little bit of a change of things, and who knows whether that'll affect anything or not.
Yeah, that's. I did see on the news that it was down, and that's what I was thinking about Osha Springs. And I know I just watched the bingo with the coach for Osha Springs, and he just, he mentioned there. Of course, they did it last night about, hey, it's just going to be a short trip over there, and now they're going to go. It's not that long of a trip as they went to Natchez, but so they're there and they're ready, even though they were off there a little bit. What about D'Iberville with their quarterback? Wally went in, last week. That's what, again, the coach saw that, Ocean Springs coach. Is he going to be in at quarterback? Because he really hasn't been quarterback this season, correct?
I didn't ask the question, but I'm going to just assume and say that he will be the starter and will play majority of the snaps at quarterback. So that's what I'm expecting. It's probably one of your better playmakers at the QB spot, but the kid was playing really good quarterback last week, getting a couple throws off, and it's the third one to come through, and they say he could be the best one of the bunch, but we still got some time to see on that.
Yes. We're talking about Wally there. You've had the other Wally brothers there. As far as what kind of, I'd projected, a 33-27 D'Iberville win, and I have them coming in second in the region behind Gulfport. Were you able to watch any of that Gulfport game last night? Of course, I was with MGCCC.
I was at Shep's house. We were eating dinner, and we actually had the NFL game on, and I was following along on Twitter and that sort of thing, trying to watch that one and some other stuff. And then eventually we turned it on at halftime, and I want to say it was right around the time Gulfport scored to make it 14-7. And then Biloxi was driving on their end of the field and had a fumble and gave it right back to them. And I think that's when they went down and made it 21-7 there in the tail end of the third quarter, I think it was.
Yes. And I know you said on your podcast, which if people want to listen to your podcast here with Shep, you go to Talking Ball app, and down on the right side, the 4 squares has the podcast. And you had mentioned, like I say, not to jump ahead, but tonight hosting Ocean Springs, and next week, like I say, at Gulfport, who is now atop the region at 1-0, of course, just playing last night. So like you said, you'll know pretty quick after tonight if you guys win, and then you go play Gulfport. That Gulfport Diablo game, you can stretch it to where that might be for the region title, if not for at least the 2 seed, 1 or 2 seed.
Yeah,
so.
it could definitely put us in the catbird seat with how we do tonight going into next week's game. It'll be on the road at Gulfport. That's a tough place to play. I think we can slow the ball down, tonight and next week. That will affect how both of these games go, but it's a tough way to start, but you will know where you're at, whether you're got a shot at a home playoff game or if you're fighting for your playoff lives, one way or the other.
Yeah. Of course, Ocean Springs, 3-time defending region champion. The last team to win it besides Ocean Springs was your Diablo Warriors in 2020. So, it's always good when Diablo's playing good, and Ocean Springs is there too. So, I certainly will tune in tonight. I have to flip between Ocean Springs and to have 2 broadcasts there. So if they want to find you I'll share it on Facebook, but where do you go to the booster? What's the title of it called?
It's the D'Iberville Warrior Football Booster Club Facebook page, and it'll be live directly on there for anybody and everybody. We'll be, we got a little, I want to say it's a little mom and pop setup. We got a little iPad that we shoot with, and we're up in that crammed little booth doing what we need to do so everybody can see it.
Yes, and we certainly appreciate the live stream. I know more teams are going to that, and it's not we don't need nothing elaborate. You guys telling us what's happening, and you even got the score, showing the score. So that's the big thing. So you still going to Waffle House after the game? Is that your tradition?
I will definitely try to. It just depends what time I get done, because the normal routine is leave here, go to the field house, interview a few of the players, interview coach, and then I'll go from there. So I guess it just depends how quick I get out of here and get up there and get done. So
okay,
I know I got there's that crew of us that usually will meet up, which is me, Shep, the principal over at Long Beach, Justin Sutton, and then Bill Snyder will jump in every now and then. That's the core 4. We'll usually try to meet up here and there about a few different things. So we'll see how it plays out.
That is. So enjoy the game. Of course, no rain tonight like it was last week. So
no, it's a really nice night here. It's kind of got a little bit of a breeze coming out of the south, but it's sun's starting to go down. It's just nice and cool. It'll be good football weather. Good night to have a game here.
Yes. So you have a score prediction?
I'm going to say Warriors 31-28. It'll be tight.
It's going to be close. There you go. All right. Well, I certainly appreciate it. I know you'll be going on the air. What time you guys go on the air?
We'll go in the air about 6:40, 6:45, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay. And then we'll look for the podcast here in a couple of days. I'll share it, once after the coaches.
It should probably be out maybe late Saturday night, if not on Sunday.
Yeah. So we certainly appreciate it, Jeremy, joining us. And good luck with the team tonight. Have a great game. Have a great call there at D'Iberville as they host Ocean Springs in game 1 of the region. So
thank you, Matt. I appreciate it.
All right. Certainly appreciate it there, Jeremy, forehand there with D'Iberville. And then there was one. It was me, Matt Stats, approaching 6 o'clock. I don't know if Clay Sweet's going to be able to join or not. Hopefully I sent him the link. He's at Picayune. Picayune is at home. So, again, I went over the scores from, the matchups for tonight. Game predictions are on our Facebook page, Gulf Coast High School Football. I know I met somebody had mentioned about Stone. There you go, Shannon. What about Stone? Stone is at, I got it written up here. Stone, of course, travels to Laurel there tonight. And let me scroll here. 10th ranked Stone. So congratulations to Stone making it into the Coast Top 10. That comes out every Tuesday, hence Tuesday Top 10 at 7 o'clock. The Golden Tornadoes, as they're called, Laurel, has won all 7 games played between Stone and between the two teams. Of course, that goes back over 16 seasons, so they have not played too much recently. They did play last year, where Laurel did win 14-12. Tomcats 1-3 on the road. Laurel's 0-3 at home. Stone beat the Rocks St. Stanislaus last week at home, 32-0. Defense is allowing just 12 points per game. That is the Tomcats. Laurel won their first game last week at Macomb, 24-19. Laurel they are the division defending region champions. As I click over here to get this, a couple things happening here. Stone can win the game, and as I did in my write-up, and I hope they do. Golden Tornadoes does not reflect that their record. They're 1-5. Laurel is, but when I reel off who they played, they lost West Jones, who's 5-1. They lost to Hattiesburg, who's 6-0. Jefferson Davis County is 3-3. They lost to them. They lost to Meridian, who is 4-2. And they lost to Oak Grove, the defending 7A state champions, though Oak Grove is not the same team as last year. They are 3-2. They're still pretty good. They did beat Macomb last week, 24-19. Macomb is 1-4. So they were, so expected to, if you want to say Laurel. So Stone is at Laurel there tonight. So appreciate Shannon for that comment. And if you have any comments, we're going to try to stay on till close we can to 6:30. By myself, was trying to get Clay on here from Picayune. Again, the Coast Top 10 comes out on Tuesdays. Stone made it into the top 10. That 10th, George County did drop. They come in at 9th. Vancleave moved up from 9th to 8th. And Ocean Springs moved up. They're at 7th. Gaucher dropped to 6th. 5th ranked is D'Iberville. 4th ranked is Gulfport. 3rd ranked is Poplarville. Pascagoula is 2nd ranked. And Picayune is the number 1 team on the coast, according to our Coast Top 10. Game predictions. We're going to go over here real quick. Also want to give a shout out, like I said, to Bingo Media, who has this app that we're using. Appreciate Bingo. The podcast that you can go to down here on the coast. Talking Ball, y'all, their app, it's free. You go to it. You can hear the 3 games out of Pearl River, from PRC to Poplarville to Picayune. Then they have the 4th box for the podcast. They do coaches interview before and after the games that they are playing. 228 Sports, they have a podcast. I was on there about a month ago now. They interview coaches. They interview, social media influencers, as far as like Bingo, Boz, with Smack'em. And speaking about Smack'em, we're going to go over the statistical leaders here. They post it every Friday at Smack'em on the Facebook page. And then also Brick Athletics, they do a podcast there. Find them on YouTube. I shared it out on Gulf Coast High School football page there on Facebook. I shared it out. You can listen to it or you can watch it. They interview players along the coast. So that's Brick Athletics. Look them up. Biloxi does the coaches on Tuesday on Facebook page. So go to the Biloxi football page on Facebook. Also, Bingo does the Coach Bramlett with Ocean Springs on Thursday night, which I just happened to watch it before it came on the air. And that is on the Ocean Springs page on several. If you go to Bingo's page, you'll have it certainly there to find out. So a lot is happening on the coast with social media, including this app here that we're trying to get a little bit more organized, which had a green screen behind me instead of showing the back of the house here at the headquarters. But glad everybody can join us, and we look to have a post-game show. So we went to Jeff Lawsett there, PRC, as they're up at Forest. We had Bingo on there, as he's with George County going to Long Beach. And then we had, Vancleave, report there from Vancleave with Jason and Jeremy Forehand with D'Iberville. Final scores from last week as I'm waiting for, also we sent out one to, I believe, James Spann from Moss Point. I sent the link to him. We'll see if we'll get him in here also, as Moss Point is in a somewhat, say, playoff game with the 5 teams in the region. If those who don't know, 4 teams in each region make the playoffs, no matter how many teams you have in the region. Some regions has 5, so 4 make the playoffs. Moss Point plays here tonight, and Moss Point and Bay, the winner of that game, will get a playoff spot. Game predictions: 1A, we have only one team in 1A, that is Resurrection, have them losing at home to Enterprise Lincoln. They should be playing in. They don't have a home field, so either in Pascagoula or Gaucher Field. So I apologize not knowing exactly what stadium they're going to be playing in, because both teams are on the road tonight, Gaucher and Pascagoula. But I do have Enterprise Lincoln winning there 32-21. West Marion at St. Patrick. St. Patrick looking for their first win. They're on an 11-game losing streak. I have West Marion winning there 44-13. St. Stanislaus, the defending region champions, travel up to Tylertown in the same region, 3A Region 8. Both teams have won a state championship game, both in 2009. That is St. Stanislaus and Tylertown. In fact, I called that game with Wayne up in Jackson when Dylan Favre and Coach Forrest Williams was there, and that was a great game there for the state championship for the Rockachaws. I have them winning 29-23, very close game there. Rockachaws over Tylertown. We're going to move now to 5A. So the 5A Region 4. Excuse me. We're going to go 4A. I skipped 4A. 4A, Moss Point at Bay High. Again, that one will be for a playoff spot. I have Bay High winning at home. And when I put at home, meaning if it was at Moss Point, I may lean toward Moss Point, but it's not. 42-38, a 4-point win for Bay High. So that could go either way. And again, I wrote in there, it could be combined 100 points. You know, they could score in the 50s, both teams, or it can be a low scoring game as the offenses are semi-struggling. Defenses give up a lot of points. But I do have Bay High winning in that game. East Central at Wayne County. East Central 1-4. Their only win came on the road. Wayne County is 1-5. Not the same Wayne County as seasons past. They lost to George County at home a few weeks ago, but I do have Wayne County winning there 21-17. And I hope East Central wins. I just said I want to give the correct pick. Stone, as we mentioned earlier, at Laurel. Between the bricks, as they say. If you haven't been to that stadium, which I have when I called high school football from 2005 to 2012, 13, we did go up there one time, and it's literally bricks that you're going to up there that you play in between. That's why hence they call between the bricks. I do have Laurel winning that game 23-18. Hopefully Stone can pull out the win there. They have a great defense. The offense is a little bit young there. They're just allowing 12 points on defense. That is Stone. Again, any comments you have? Let me see. Let me scroll up here. And we will move on. Again, Gaucher at Van Cleve, 6th ranked. Gaucher at 8th ranked Van Cleve. The Gators 19-4. They won 11 last 11 straight games against Van Cleve. The Bulldogs on a 3-game winning streak. They, after starting 0-2 in the season, they are now 3-2. Gaucher 1-1 in road games. They are on a 3-game overall winning streak. Of course, they have a long home winning streak, but they're not at home tonight. Van Cleve is still looking for their first region title. One of the few teams that have not won a region title. And we have a guest coming on. We're going to see who that is. That is James. If we can get him added in here. There you go. There's James. How you doing, James? Can you hear me?
I'm doing good.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
So you're physically at Bay High. Is that where you're at
No,
tonight?
on the way. I'm on the way right now.
Oh, on the way. Okay. True. It's 6:08. Kickoff at 7. So you're on the way to Bay. So what's it looking like for Moss Point? Their chances tonight against Bay High. You know, they've been scoring early. I guess it's later in the second half where they kind of I want to say lose steam, but I mean the amount of players they have. I don't think they have a lot of players as much as some of the other teams. Not making excuses, but a lot of players play both sides. I mean, you like their chances tonight. You think? I mean, I know you do. I know you go to Moss Point, so I don't want to say you're biased, but hey, if it was played at Moss Point, I probably would lean to Moss Point. But it's at Bay. So how are you feeling tonight in tonight's game?
I feel the same way you think. I think I checked two of the sources this week. I think they have low scoring. There's no way I see this game to be low scoring. Both teams about the same. Both of them not very well offensively. Just seeing both of them are probably about the same. So hopefully they'll both play the same and probably a high scoring game. So
Yeah.
this bet, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was just saying, that they easily could combine for, it could be in the 50s, 55 to 50, or it could be a low score because, again, the offenses are not potent, but their defenses on both sides are not strong. So, who wins there? To me, I mean, I got to pick one side or the other. It's again, close I have a 42-38, so it's a 4-point game there for Bay High. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll be glad for Moss Point to stop their losing streak and get into the playoffs. Because again, we talk about a 5-team division in the that they're playing in this game here would get the winner unless something crazy, it's not 100%, unless something crazy happens where Bay or Moss Point beats the other teams in the division, which would be Green, Moss, Pass Christian, and Poplarville are the other 3 teams in there. And I don't see them beating those other 3 teams, but anything could happen on the field. And I know you mentioned in your video, which I shared on Facebook, that you look at Greene County to win that region, which the last game of the year, Greene County will play at Poplarville. So that's why in my region predictions, I'm leaning toward Poplarville, who should be back at full strength, about time that comes around there at Greene County. And I've watched some tape on Greene County, of course, King there. And, I know they're not part of Coast football, but they're in the region and they would be in the top 10 if we ranked them. I mean, that's how Greene County is pretty good.
Yeah.
So so you think it's going to be a high scoring game tonight instead of a real, below 30? I say the over under. If I say the over under is 60, you're going to go with the over as far as total points.
Under 60? That's a little too high. I 50 at push, but 60 is a little too high. I would say around the 48, 50 mark, but 60 is not bad, but I think I like 50 better.
I'm talking about for total points, combined total points.
Oh, sorry, total points.
So if it's 30-30, then it's going to be 60 points. I'm saying, is it going to be over total 60 points scored in this game? The way you're talking earlier, I would think you would say yes.
Yeah, I'll take over the 60. Yeah, I'll take that.
I just hopefully it's a good game there. And I know I shared your interview last week with Coach, let's say Beach there with Poplarville. Assuming you're going to do some interviews tonight at 4228 Sports after this game, correct?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I know you're on the bus because I can see the bus. What bus are you on per se? With the players bus, a band bus?
Band bus.
Band bus. There you go. I'm glad they bring in the band. Some teams may not bring the band to, away games. And from Moss Point to Bay is a little bit of a trip there for Moss Point. So I certainly appreciate you tuning in here and joining us for the pregame show. Now, again, looking ahead next week, you're back at home. And then actually, the Tigers don't play the last game on Halloween night. So you got Bay tonight. You lost to Poplarville last week. I say Moss Point lost to Poplarville last week, 28-14, which, I mean, a 2-score game. That ain't bad. I know you were there at that game. How'd you feel? I mean, did they have a shot, or you just didn't feel that it was? We went over it last week, I know, where they weren't within necessarily a score from Poplarville. So it was like maybe 14-0 or 21-7. I mean, what happened last week? Can they improve on it this week to get it done? What did they need to improve on?
I was getting the ball in the end zone. They get the ball in the end zone. I was seeing the upset, but that was a rain game, so I think it kind of put a doozy in it too. And I think the rain can have a big effect on games. People fail to realize. So, not saying that's the main reason, but that is an effect of it helped and it didn't work out, but it the game was better than expected. So hey, that's
Yeah.
like you said, more victories. That's one thing. So
And I know Ford is a quarterback, and I know last week you mentioned the wide receiver. What are some of the players there, be it on offense or defense? I know the two players that made the All-Star team, but what players that we need to look out for Moss Point on offense or defense?
especially you said quarterback Kevon Ford, wide receiver Kadarius McCorvey, and then offensive lineman Deshaun Fizel.
There you go, Fizel. So yes, again, Poplarville. I mentioned it last week. I know Poplarville, Moss Point, struggling this year, hasn't won a game, but yet, like I say, the players are still getting recognized. So I don't want people to feel that teams who are not doing great this year, players still get noticed by scouts, by us here on the coast to shine the light on everybody there. So I certainly appreciate you joining us, and we'll see about after the game, especially win or lose. I know that you may look to join us after the game, but hopefully Moss Point can get the win, even though, yes, I lean toward Bay High to get the win. But I'll look for you to give updates on X or on Facebook, either way, or I'll share them. And I appreciate you joining us there. Have a safe trip over to Bay and a safe trip back, but enjoy the game under the lights there, Mr. James.
I appreciate it.
All right. We appreciate it, James. We'll check you on the flip side. So that's James Spann the second. He is with Moss Point. He's in high school. I mean, he's I say mature for his age. He just had a birthday. I forgot to wish him happy birthday. I think he turned 18. So happy birthday there, James, there with Moss Point as they head over to Bay. And again, that is for all intents purposes a playoff spot with 5 teams in the region. Right now, you have Greene County at 1-0 at the top spot. Poplarville 1-0, tied with Greene County. Then you have Moss Point, Pass Christian, who are 0-1, and then Bay, first game tonight for the region, and they have not played. Obviously, they have not played, so they're 0-0 in that region. We move on here as it is 6:16. We'll try to get it to the bottom of the hour as the fans are heading to the stadiums. Again, get live updates for all the games on X at Coast Football. I will certainly post them out. And then on Facebook, I will give game updates, and I'll even do what I did last week. I wasn't at the headquarters last week, so I just did a post. And the fans, we need you fans. I certainly appreciate all that you do. I'm a fan of high school football, so I'll give a post out there where you guys can give your game updates. I certainly appreciate that. We'll do that again here tonight as we go through the game predictions. We left off at Stone and Laurel. I have Laurel winning there. Gaucher at Van Cleve. I have Gaucher. I changed my score initially because I do it over the weekend. Initial scores on what the score is going to be. I changed it very much from 30-23 to 48-29. I just don't think Gaucher or Van Cleve can stop the running game or the passing game of the Gators. It'll be a big win for Van Cleve. They've lost 11 straight to Gaucher. PRC, we talked to Jeff Lossett there, who's up there at Forest Hill. That, all intents and purposes, is for a playoff spot to that winner, as they have 5 teams in the region. PRC was off last week as they stopped their 17-game losing streak. Coach Feaster, in his first season there, already making a turnaround for Pearl River Central. As we will move on here to the 6A, Region 4, West Harrison 4-1 at Hancock. Hancock struggling mighty this year. They made the playoffs the last 2 years. Hurricanes 4-1 on a 4-game winning streak. Their strength of schedule is not that strong. They play who's in front of them across the field from them, so they've won their games there. Their opponents' records and the 4 wins that they're 4-1 are combined 3-21. So it's still, it builds their confidence. They've won, as they played juggernauts, no, but they did what they needed to do to win. And it'll be the first time trying to make the playoffs. They can't make the playoffs. They have 6 teams in the region, so it's not one of those scenarios they win tonight, but they will be. There's a 2-game swing on your opponent. If they happen to tie with the Hawks at the end of the season, who's going into playoffs? Well, who wins this game? So again, it's a 2-game swing there in every region game. The Hurricanes averaged 39 points per game and 17 points on defense. That is pretty good there. The Hawks, I mean, they're at home. They've been in the playoffs the last 2 years. They lost a lot of key players last year, skilled players. I have West Harrison winning 41-22. West Harrison to defeat Hancock. Also, Jordan Stapleton, and I mentioned Brick Athletics. If you look at their podcast on YouTube or on my Facebook page, I shared their podcast. They just did an interview with Jordan Stapleton, and he's the running back for the Hurricanes, shining a light on him as he scored a lot last week. I watched the podcast there. I look for him to score 4 times tonight. I'm going to watch that game on YouTube. They stream their home games. I'm going to watch that game and see how he does there. The Hawks, would it be a shock if they win? No, it wouldn't be a shock if they win. It'll be a mild upset if they do beat the Hurricanes there tonight. 9th-ranked George County at Long Beach. We talked to Bingo there a little while ago. He's at the game now. Rebels lead the series 28-1. Long Beach Bearcats' only win beating the Rebels was in 1979. 3rd straight road game for George County. They are 2-1 so far on the season in road games. George County lost at Hattiesburg last week, and Long Beach lost at South Jones. Deuce Knight, the number 1 quarterback in the state, who was committed to Notre Dame, now flipped to Auburn, will be back playing. He's missed 3.5 games since that first quarter of Biloxi 4 games ago. He's back here playing tonight. I have them winning 49-28. Long Beach can put up some points. We'll still see how George County defense reacts there, and they'll post out the George County Journalism Facebook page. Does post-game interviews, and we share them, so look for those. At the top, the number 1 team on the coast, Picayune 4-2 versus Pascagoula, who's 4-1. Maroon Tide lead the series 37-21 with 2 ties. They won the last 2 games. Picayune has. Panthers, their second road game. They lost at Gaucher. They've lost the last 2 road games going back to last year. Again, mentioned earlier, Picayune 2-2 at home. Coach Stogner has never lost 3 home games in a season. That is the Picayune head coach. Maroon Tide played at Petal last week, and they won. The Panthers were off, so having 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Of course, we do share Pascagoula's Facebook page, a pregame with Coach Sims there, and you can watch that interview about this game on our Facebook page. I have Pascagoula and Gulfport run 2 similar offenses that spread them out, and Gulfport beat Picayune, of course, a few weeks ago at home. So can Pascagoula do it? We shall see. Of course, Corliss Seiler, a great quarterback, breaking many records there at the Panthers this season, the senior who has committed to USM. It'd be really something for him to go into Picayune to get this win for the Panthers. Again, I have them projected, whatever word you want to use, to win the region. You can find all the region predictions on my Facebook page, Gulf Coast High School Football. There, I've predicted all who's going to finish what in the regions. Again, if you have any questions, please do post. I can see any questions on there. Please do not click on any links or post any links, as you would get banned, and it doesn't show up anyways, as I have it set to where it will hide any links. Pascagoula, I have winning 33-24. I don't like picking against Picayune at Picayune. I did when Ocean Springs beat them last season, but they don't lose too many at home. As I just mentioned, never lost 3 games at home under Coach Stogner there for Picayune. Of course, I'm a stat man, so I'm going to look and see, just to confirm with you, that Coach Stogner has been there since 2020 was his first year. So this is his 6th season. He has never lost 3 games at home in a season. We'll go to the big class, 7A, which a lot of people are debating. Why did we even go to 7A? We should have kept it at 6A, but we have a 7A class. It goes from 8 teams to 6 teams. 4 teams make the playoffs, as I mentioned, in every region. St. Martin 3-2 on the season at Harrison Central 1-4. The Red Rebels lead the series 26-16-3. They've won 4 straight against Harrison Central. Yellow Jackets have not won a region game. Have not won a game 1 region game, starting off 1-0 since 2009 when they beat Van Cleve 21-15. Harrison Central has started 1-0 for 9 straight seasons. We'll see if that continues tonight. St. Martin just stopped a 12-game road losing streak. They're 1-1 this season on the road. They won at East Central. Second home game for Harrison Central. They're 0-1. And as I wrote, Yellow Jackets could win this game. They most definitely could win this game. Coach Ty Smith is really coaching them up. And Red Rebels, a slight dip in offensive production. Defense have shaved off 6 points per game from last year. So defense is a little bit better there. As I write up, St. Martin, a lot of young players playing better than I projected. And defense going from 40 points per game down to 22 points per game. You still like to get it down into the teens and closer to 10 points. But both offenses not putting up a lot of points, with both having decent defenses. I said it'll be less than a touchdown. We'll lean toward the home team, 27-23. I have Harrison Central winning the game here tonight as they host St. Martin. Again, if it was at St. Martin, I probably would lean towards St. Martin. But that is a big game because I have both of them not in the playoffs. As the top 4 I have is Gulfport winning the region, D'Iberville in second, Ocean Springs third, and Biloxi coming in 4th is what I have predicted in that region. Last night, Gulfport did defeat Biloxi 21-7. The Admirals, as I did my write-up, was 61-35-4. Now they're 62-35-4. They've won 4 straight now against Biloxi. Biloxi 1-3 now at home, losing 3 straight. Gulfport has not lost a game 1 region game since 2008, and now it's 15 straight. They have started 15 straight seasons 1-0 in region play. Both teams were off last week, both coming off a loss that previous week, of course, being shut out by Brandon. Gulfport did, and Biloxi lost at Pascagoula 2 weeks ago. As I write, but Biloxi offense get rolling. They're averaging 12 points per game. They scored 7 points last night. Again, Coach DuBose, the new head coach from Alabama, his track record is great, winning championships. It's going to take them a couple seasons to get it going. This season, they make the playoffs. That would be great, but just takes them a little bit. You come in and input your new offense, new defense. They have the coaches there. It's just a matter of building it up. I have them making the playoffs over Harrison Central and St. Martin. So, again, 4 make the playoffs, 2 sit out, 2 won't make it. I have St. Martin and Harrison Central not making it. That's what I have. But I had Gulfport winning 34-16. They won 21-7 last night. So, Gulfport is 1-0 in the region. Obviously, Biloxi's 0-1. Ocean Springs, 7th ranked at 1-4 at 5th ranked D'Iberville. It was 3-2. We just had Jeremy Forehand there in the first points of the game here in the pregame show as we're reaching up on 6:30, 6:27 now, half hour before kickoff. Warriors lead the series 23-19. Ocean Springs has won the last 3. Warriors won last week over Wayne County at home. They had a running clock in the second quarter. They were up by 35. Ocean Springs was off. Greyhounds are still region champions till somebody else knocks them off. 3-time defending region champions at that. D'Iberville was the last team to win the region before Ocean Springs went on this three-peat there. And I put in my write-up, we voted Ocean Springs having the toughest non-region schedule. Will it pay off for them here in this game 1 and in these region games? They played a very hard non-region schedule. They came out 1-4. They lost, to Brandon. They lost to Picayune. I mean, that's why they were voted the toughest coast non-region schedule. As I get to their schedule, they hosted Madison Central. They lost there. They Oak Grove, the defending 7A champs. They were in that game, had the lead 21-14, and then Oak Grove scored 21 and answered to win 35-21. They did win, lost at home Northwest Rankin in overtime. They went for 2 points. Northwest Rankin won that one 29-28, and then they went up to Natchez and won there 49-16. And again, they lost 2 weeks ago to Picayune for homecoming 38-35. So pretty tough non-division schedule there for Ocean Springs. And D'Iberville, I have D'Iberville winning this game 33-27. So I had changed it from 34-28, so just a point differential there. But I believe it'll be a one-score game. We'll see. D'Iberville has a new defensive coordinator, and he's really improved. I draw a blank on his name. Ocean Springs with Coach Bramlett. They lost a lot on defense, but they played in this non-region hard schedule. Maybe they're ready here for prime time on a Friday night here in October, as they are tied for the region lead with everybody else. We shall see. This game here, again, will go a long way in who's going to get that second seed, as we don't like to look ahead, but D'Iberville will play at Gulfport next week, and Ocean Springs will host Harrison Central, which right now they would be favored to win, but we won't look too far ahead. We'll see how it plays out. But I do appreciate everybody joining us here as we're coming up on 6:30. I got a half hour till kickoff. Again, tag us at Coast Football with game updates. I'm going to post on our Facebook page, Gulf Coast High School Football, the logo game update. And I'll probably put the schedule up there, tonight's games, and below it, just update the score that you know of there that's playing tonight. 15 games being played tonight. And all of them are region games, as I was going to try to run them over real quick. Enterprise Lincoln at Resurrection, West Marion at St. Patrick, St. Stanislaus at Tylertown, Moss Point at Bay High, East Central at Wayne County, Pearl River Central at Forest Hill, West Harrison at Hancock, St. Martin at Harrison Central, and then the top 10 teams, Stone at Laurel, 9th ranked George County at Long Beach, Gaucher, number 6th ranked at number 8th ranked Van Cleve, 7th ranked Ocean Springs at 5th ranked D'Iberville, Pascagoula at 3rd ranked Poplarville, and Pascagoula at Picayune. And did I skip over? I mentioned Poplarville. I don't know why I felt like I skipped over that game. Poplarville. I have Poplarville winning 29-23, so I did skip it over. Hornets lead the series 14-2, 9 straight wins. Pirates, 2 wins coming in 2000 and 2010, so a long time for the Pirates to beat Poplarville. They're 1-2 in road games. That is the Pirates. Hornets 8-game home winning streak. Pirates lost last week 35-22 versus Greene County. Poplarville defending back-to-back region champs. They are third. They have 13 overall. I say if the Pirates can put up 30 points, they could win. Pascagoula could throw the ball. Hornets better against the run. We'll see here. Again, Keys is what I'm being told. The talented running back is out for Poplarville, but he's been out for the season. They've done pretty good. Forrest, I feel the Hornets defense will create the turnovers that will be the difference, especially late in the game. Poplarville wins 29-23. So I'm sorry, I totally missed Poplarville as I was going over the schedule. But 15 games tonight. Already one game last night. Gulfport defeats Biloxi 21-7. So enjoy your games tonight. Be sure to join us for the post-game show if everything goes as planned, as the first night of full region games is happening tonight. So I'm Matt Stats. I appreciate everybody joining us. You guys be safe, and Stats is out.